being raised when your father has left you, and in my case, left before I was even born, it tends to scar you. I didn't realize how much it scarred me till later in life, and then you can look back and see all the things that were done and the mistakes you made based off of that scarring. You don't feel like you're worthy. I mean, you're growing up and it's like, your dad didn't think you were worth sticking around for. Your dad didn't want anything to do with you. He just up and left. I would never hurt my son the way my dad hurt me.
Growing up, I always remember my father as being quiet. He came from the World War II generation. Even though he was a young boy at the time, he had 4 older brothers that were in the war, and so I think he always lived wishing he could be part of that experience with them. But my father was very quiet and held things close to the vest. It was one of those guys that really never expressed feeling, but I also always knew that he loved me. Everything that he did told me that he loved me, and I never felt left out because of that. I never felt that I missed something. I knew that was just who he was.
Yeah, so by age 8, I didn't realize this, but I felt like I was the man of the house. And so when a stepfather came in the picture, I unknowingly did everything possible to get rid of that person who has come into my home. And so it was a period of time where he was trying to correct my behavior, and I was a bad child. And so you can imagine what that was like from the standpoint of me being afraid of him because I saw him as a threat, and then he had to spank me a lot.
Sometimes people think that I didn't have a father, physically. And the thing that I always tell people, I tell them that I had a father. It was that emotional connection that I lacked with him. And for a long time, I always thought it was my fault. I always thought it was, because I was a bad kid or, I made bad decisions. And in my mind as a little kid, I always thought that we lacked a connection together because of how I acted. And so when I was little, I never really, felt like I was connected to my father. And the only time, as weird as it may sound, the only time I ever felt connected with him is when I was in trouble. Being disciplined or, being yelled at. That was a connection for me. And that was, if anyone really understands what it feels like to have a connection with somebody built out of anger and fear, it's uncomfortable. And I grew up like that for most of my life.